Welcome. In this video, we're going to do a solo playthrough of Mythic Battles Pantheon. We'll be playing the at a low boil scenario. Basically, someone has started poisoning the gods, and the cure lies at Tartarus. So we've collected a band of heroes and gods to go retrieve the cure. For forces, chose a god, and picked Hades, and it completed the army with 14 recruitment points of heroes and troops. So as you can see, we've got Hades, Heracles, Achilles, Leonidas, Centaurs, Hoplites, and the Spartans. For setup, we're going to shuffle a set of the 12 cure tokens, place one in each of the areas marked on the map. And you can see over here on the map where these go. So here we've got the tokens. Whoops. We'll shuffle these up and place them according to the map. And for a starting hand size, we'll start with our 4 god cards. Then we'll take all our other cards and shuffle those together. And once we're done shuffling, we'll take the top 3 cards to create our hand size. So we've got 2 Leonidas and 1 Heracles. Then we'll take 1 Omphalos card and shuffle that into our deck. And basically what the Omphalos card is going to do when we draw that, our god is going to take a wound, and we will not be replacing that card. Next, we'll take 8 Omphalos cards, 5 Art of War cards, and 4 unused activation cards, and shuffle those together. At the beginning of each player's turn, we're going to draw from that event deck. If we get an Omphalos, the active player's god will suffer a wound. If we get an Art of War card, we'll make an 8 dice area attack at each area surrounding both of these locations. And if we draw Zeus, nothing will happen. And our goal for this is to claim cure tokens. We're looking for tokens numbered 1 through 4. If we find those, we'll win the scenario. 5 through 12 are just weeds throughout there, so we kind of need to be lucky. As they've noted in the rule book, this is a difficult scenario. And at the end of each of our activations, we have a Hydra, Minotaur, and a Cerberus that will attack us. So the Hydra, it's going to use its onslaught power, which is make a X dice attack against all enemy units within the Hydra's range. The defending units may not retaliate. And of course, it's got at the end of its activation, the Hydra recovers 1 vitality point. So we're probably not going to be able to kill that. Then the Minotaur is going to go. If he is at maximum vitality, he makes an attack against a random non-monster unit within range. And his range is 0. So our plan is to be nice and not aggravate him, because if he does lose any vitality, he'll smash out of his cage and start attacking us with his charge ability. And then lastly, Cerberus makes an attack against the highest recruitment point non-monster unit in his area. There are no non-monster units in the area. He uses Burning Breath on the adjacent area containing the most gods, or the target with the most recruitment points. And Medusa is only used on a 4-player game. So on the map, the obstacles, we have each of the monsters in a cage. So they will get +1 defense against range 1+ attacks. We also have several chains going through the board. So we've got one coming this direction, one through the middle, and one over on the edge. So on those, movement is allowed, but walk or run actions in immediately after crossing the boundary. And we have a few rocks in play. So I think that covers everything for setup. So let's get started. So start with an encounter card. So we've got an Art of War card. So these 2 spaces would make an area attack against the units in their surroundings, but we don't have anyone in that space. So we'll go to our turn, starting hand size with Hades, 2 Leonidas, and Heracles. So we'll draw a card, get in Achilles. We'll go ahead and activate Heracles. Give him a complex action to run, so his movement will be 2. 1, 2. And we will end our turn. None of the monsters have a target in range, so they won't do anything. So we'll start another turn, drawing a card. So with an Omphalos, Hades will take a damage. So he will drop down 1 space. We will draw a card, getting another Heracles. We will activate Hades. He will move 1 space. And take a look at this, finding a 10, so just a weed, not what we're looking for. Then with his leader ability, he'll go through our deck looking for a Centaur activation card. Put that in our hand. Shuffle our deck. And then we may go ahead and use this card without using an active war and have them move into his space. Ending our turn. So the Hydra and Minotaur don't have a target, but Cerberus does, so he will attempt to attack the god, and the Centaurs will use their guard ability and jump in the way. So for his Blazing Breath, he will get 6 dice. And it is an area attack. So like I said, he's going after Hades. Centaurs will use their guard ability. With this roll, that will go away. We've got 2 5s. We'll spin this one to give a +1. And when the monster's attacking here, they're trying to do the best they can, but unused dice are lost. The 5s are re-rolled. So this 3 will go away. They need at least 1s to take down the Centaurs. So both Centaurs have been defeated. They served their purpose for a little bit. And then with Hades' ability, whenever any unit is destroyed, you draw 1 card and Hades regains a vitality point. So we'll draw some hoplites. So monsters have activated. New turn, no effect. We'll draw a card and get an active war. I'll use Leonidas. He will move up 1 and claim another weed. Then I'll spend an active war and activate Achilles, giving him a run action. And he will run in with Cerberus. So Hydra and Minotaur still don't have a target. Cerberus has someone in his cage with him, so he's going to use his normal attack of 7 dice. Achilles has a defense of 9, and he ignores the first wound caused by each attack. So hopefully Cerberus does a bad roll here. And that is not bad at all. So we've got a 5 there. We'll spin this to get another 5. Spin this one to get another 5. And then spin this one to get another 5. So it needs 4s here. So he's got 1 4. This is wasted. We can boost that to a 3, but it's not going to be enough. So we got lucky. 1 wound, which will be ignored. Then starting another turn, active war. These 2 locations will make an area attack, and Heracles is in that space. So that's 8 dice. And he has a defense of 8. And he has a permanent ability also. Each time that Heracles is the target of an attack, immediately after the dice of the first assault have been rolled and before other effects, the attacker can be forced to re-roll up to 3 dice of our choice. So we'll give these a roll. We'll let them keep these 0s. These 5s. So we'll have them re-roll these 3 dice, which didn't do anything different. So we will spin this to make a 5, and these 2 to make another 5. They're looking for 8s. So we've got 2 hits on Heracles. So he will drop down to this area. We will draw a card, getting a Heracles, which we will use to move inside the cage and take a look and find an 11. So far, no luck. So monsters attack. Hydra no target. Minotaur does have someone in the cage with him. So it looks like a bump that to start with. So he will be rolling 7 dice. Those will go away. We'll use Heracles' ability to re-roll these 3. So that's a lot better. So we'll spin these 3 to make this a 5. This will go away. Needing an 8, getting a 9, so Heracles will take another damage. And Cerberus is making another attack on Achilles. So rolling, oops, that was a blank. 3 5s. Can't do anything with those. We can boost this up to a 4, so that'll be taken away. Needing 4s. Getting 1 hit, which we will ignore. So start a turn. No effect for this turn. Drawing a card, getting a Leonidas. We will activate Heracles, have him step outside and look here, finding a number 12. We are 0 for 4. No Art of War card, so our turn is over. So for Monster, the Hydra now has Heracles in his sights. So make an onslaught attack with 6 dice. Just so you know, all 3 monsters do have the block ability, and Heracles is my only hero with block, so that's why he could go in there and take that token away. These guys don't have that opportunity. They're going to have to kill the dog first, or Heracles is going to have to make his way over there. So the Hydra on Heracles, he'll use his ability and re-roll those 3 dice. So we can spend 2 to make this a 5. Those will go away. Needs a total of an 8. Getting exactly an 8, so Heracles will take another damage. And Cerberus is going to attack Achilles again with 7 dice. So this one goes away. We can spin 2 to get this up to a 5. Spin these 2, get this to a 4, so not enough. So 1 die turns out to be a miss. Start a turn, draw an event card. So these 2 areas are going to make their attack, but no one's adjacent to them. So no effect, and we will draw a card. We will activate Leonidas and have him move in this area and make an attack against Cerberus. He has 6 dice. So we'll see what he gets. So spin 1 to get a 5. Spin these 2 to get another 5. Get into blank. Total of 8, so 1 damage to the pup. Taking him down a notch. Then we will end our turn. Hydra gets an attack on Heracles. 6 dice. Let him keep that one. And re-roll these 3. That'll go away. So that's a definite hit. Need 7s. So we can boost this up to 7 and get 2 hits on him. Taking him down 2. And now, unfortunately, he's in a space where he can't move unless he's running. So Cerberus has 2 heroes in range, but he'll attack the one with the highest recruitment point, which is still Achilles. Still has 7 dice. Two total misses. Spin that one for a 5. Spin this one to get another 5. And roll with these. Getting 2 hits. We'll ignore the first one, and Achilles will take his first damage. Start of another turn. No effect. We will draw a card, getting Achilles. So we'll go ahead and activate him. He gets 7 dice, and he has an ability, whenever he attacks, he may change any blank results from the first assault into 1s. So that wasn't needed. So there we've got 5 successes already. We'll spin this one to make another 5 and have 1 left over. See how many of these we can get to hit. Trying to get to an 8. So we just did 5 hits to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that took him down several notches. We will end our turn. So the Hydra on Heracles. Poor guy's just standing there getting beat up. So 6 dice. Don't think he's going to live much longer. Have him re-roll these 3. 2 hits. We'll spin these 2 plus 1s to make these 5. So need all these to be 0s. So Heracles is down. And with Hades' power, he will draw a card. He's already at full health, so we've got some Spartans. Really would have liked some Art of War cards to get Heracles inside here to at least get this token, but that did not work out that way. So if this is a 1 through 4, we are in trouble. So Cerberus is going to make an attack. He's now a 6. Going for Achilles again. He still has a defense of 9. These will go away. Use this to boost this up to a 5, and that to boost this one up to a 5. And that is not going to be enough, so no damage there. So an Omphalos card. Means Hades takes the damage. We will draw a card, getting some Centaurs. Big hand of cards. Eventually, maybe we'll get some Art of War. We'll activate Leonidas. Got 6 dice. So we'll spin this one to get 1 5. Spin another one for another 5 and hold on to these 2. Looking for 7s. So we can boost this to get up to a 7 to do 2 damage. And that will defeat Cerberus. And since that's a unit down, Hades will draw a card and heal, getting an Act of War, or Art of War. And we will end our turn. No targets for our 2 living monsters. So we will draw a card, no effect. And then draw a regular card, getting some more Centaurs. Go ahead and activate Hades. Have him move 2 and claim a token. Finding a cure, so that's 1 of 4. And end of turn, we'll use a Art of War card to recall our Centaurs and bring them into his space. Monsters don't have any targets. Event card. Hades will take a damage. We will draw a card, finding an Art of War. Then use our Art of War to draw 2 cards. Getting a Leonidas and another Art of War. Ending the turn. No targets for monsters. Omphalos card, so a damage to Hades. We will draw a card, finding our Spartans. We'll use our Centaurs. Have them jump over the chain and take a look, finding a weed. And then use an Art of War to draw 2 cards. So an Omphalos, that'll be discarded. And Hades will take another damage. But we did get an Achilles card. So ending our turn. No targets for monsters. Art of War means these areas are going to attack. So first on the Centaurs with 8 dice. So we got 2 there. We'll spin that one to make this a 5. And spin these 2 to get another 5. So that goes away. They needed 6. So these guys are in, found some weeds, and killed. And now on Hades. Miss there. We'll spin 1 to make this a 5. Spin 1 to make this a 5. And spin these 2 to get another 5. Needing 7s. Got lucky there, so 1 damage. Then we will draw a card. Getting an Art of War. We use Achilles. He will pick up this token, finding another weed, and then move 1 space. Then we'll use this to activate another unit, which will be Hades. We'll move him 1, 2. Well, that's not going to help him either. He's going to be next to the other one. He will do a run action, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. So he'll watch from this direction. So no targets for monsters. Event card. So Achilles will get attacked with 8 dice. There's a 5. You can spin that for another 5 and spin this for another one. This still has a defense of 9. So that's going to be 2 wounds. He'll ignore 1 and take 1 damage. So now he's down to a defense of 8. And for us, we'll draw a card, finding some hoplites. We will activate our Spartans, having them run. So 1, 2. Ending our turn. No monster attacks. Go to the event. Nymphalis card. So damage for Hades. We'll draw a card. Heracles. Use our Spartans again. Have them run. See if they can survive the Hydra's attack. So we'll spin this one to make that a 5, and spin this one to make that a 5. Their defense is a 6. So 2 will go down. Draw an event. Another damage for Hades. Drawing a card. Getting Achilles. Take a look at our discard stack, see what all we've got. So go ahead and activate Leonidas. Have him run 2 spaces. Actually, we'll have him run into this space instead. Actually, I'm going to take that back. Rethink that. I'm going to use our Spartans before he dies to take a look at this, finding a 5. Now he's going to get attacked by the Hydra. And I don't believe he's going to make it. Didn't make it. So unit died, so Hades will gain a health, and we will draw a card, finding an Art of War. Looking here, Hades will lose that health he just got. We'll draw hoplites. Then we're going ahead and use this to draw 2 cards. And since we don't have a deck, we'll shuffle these. All right. So we're getting 2 cards. Spartans and an Art of War. I'll use Achilles to have him run 2 spaces. End our activations. Hydra will attack Achilles with 6 dice. And that's a really good roll. So we'll spin this one to bring that up. Spin this one to make this a 5. That one will get wasted. So we're hoping for 2s and less. So that'll be a hit. We'll spin that to make this a 3. So 2 damage to ignore the first one. Taking 1 damage. Get an event card. So Hades will take another damage. So he's at a point with no movement. We will draw a card. Getting a Hades. I'm going to spin this to go find an Achilles card. Put that in my hand and shuffle. Then we will play this to have him move a space and claim a number 2. So there's still a chance, just not a good one. Ending our turn, Hydra will attack Achilles with 6 dice. Getting another excellent roll. So we will spin these 2 to make that a 5 and lose this one. And spin this to turn that up to a 3. So 2 damage, we'll ignore 1. So Achilles goes down a little bit further. We'll reshuffle our event stack. And draw a card. Hades takes another wound. He is all the way at the bottom. We will draw a card, getting a Hades card. We'll activate Leonidas to have him run 2 spaces. Have the Hydra attack, and hope he doesn't kill Achilles. But that looks like trouble. So we'll spin these 2, so just 4s. So that was good. So these 2 are going to be hits. That's not going to make it. So he'll ignore 1 and live 1 more round. And draw a card. No effect. For us, we get Leonidas. So we will activate him to move in this space. Finding a 4. And this is our hand, so we've got nothing else to play with here. So first we'll see Achilles' fate from the Hydra attack. So we've got 2 zeros, 2 5s, and these aren't enough to boost. So we need at least one of these to totally miss. And they both hit. So 1 wound's enough to kill him, which means Hades will heal 1 and draw a card. So then the Hydra will attack Leonidas. Rolling like crazy. So we'll spin those 2 to get 4 5s going. His defense is a 7. So, and we'll spin this to boost that up. So 3 damage on him. Draw an event card. So this will be attacking Leonidas with 8 dice. We'll spend that one to get a 5, this one to get a 5, and these 2 to get a 5. Needing 7s. So fortunately, just 1 hit. But he's down to a space to where he can't move now. We'll draw a card, getting a Heracles. We'll run our hoplites for lack of anything better to do. End of turn, we'll use this to recall our centaurs. I should have done that last turn. That's probably going to cost me the game. Hydra will attack Leonidas. Well, that was a little lucky at least. We'll spin those to get a 5. So that will hit him for 1, taking him down to his bottom row. I would have preferred that he would have got killed there. But Hades can hold on one more round, hopefully. So, Art of War. That's going to attack it. Leonidas. So, 8 dice. Got 1 5. We'll spin that to make another 5. Spin this to make another one. So if these, well, yep, that's going to be it. He's down. Those are already 5s. So we will draw a card. And Hades will live. We will activate Hades and do nothing with him, so we can use his leader ability to look through our deck for a Centaur card. Take that and put it in our hand and shuffle our deck. And then with the leader ability, go ahead and use that to activate for free. Have them move 2 spaces. And look, 4/7. So we've picked up every token but this. So that's our 3. But we'll play this out. Hydra will attack the Centaurs. Getting a 5. Spin that for another 5. And spin these 2 to make another one. Needing 1s. So they are gone, which will allow us to draw a card and heal Hades a little bit. Then an event card. No effect. We'll draw a Heracles card. We'll activate Hades. Got a movement of 1. Got a range of 1, so we can attack in here with 6 attack. Because of the cage, Hydra have +1 defense, so it's got an 8. So we can spend these 2 to get a 5, and these 2 to get a 5. Needing 3s. Getting 1 hit on him. Then we're going to spend 2 cards from a dead unit, which means it becomes an Art of War. We'll activate our hoplites and have them move 2 spaces. Hydra will attack them with 6 dice. Two misses, 1 5. We'll spin that one for another 5. And that goes away. They need 6s, so 2 of those will pass on. Now attacking Hades. He has a defense of 6. Oops. So there's a 5. Spin that for another 5, and these 2 for 5. Needing 1s. So 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Still alive for 1 more turn. Unless this kills him. So no effect. We will draw a card. Getting Spartans. We will activate the hoplites to have them move or run 2 spaces. We'll then spin 2 cards at the end of our turn to recall the Spartans. We'll start with the Hydra attacking Hades. We will put the hoplites in front of them. Spin those to get 5s. So 2 of those guys will go down. Then we'll have the Hydra target our Spartans, and we'll have the... Oh, they can't do that. Okay. So these have already been targeted because of that. So Hydra is targeting these Spartans. So 6 dice on the Spartans. 3 misses. Only 1 hit. So 1 Spartan goes down. Still didn't kill any units. That's a shock. So we've got a Art of War. No effect then. We will draw a card, getting Spartans. The Hydra would have healed at the end of its activation. We will activate the Spartans, have them move in to attack the Hydra. They will get 4 dice. I was hoping to get 2 blanks for a mighty throw. Instead, we got 2 hits. So we need 7s. So we actually hit the Hydra twice. So the Hydra will retaliate, targeting the Spartans first. But it is down to 5 dice now. So we'll spend that to make a 5, and these will not work. So killing 1 Spartan. Then on the hoplite, one. We'll spin that for a 5. Needing a 5, so he's down, which means he will draw a card, get an Achilles, and gain a health, and then be the target of an attack. And that's a good attack. So we'll spin that for a 5. These will get wasted. Those defense is a 6. So needing 1s. Hades is down. And that will end the game. So there's our last cure token. We collected 11 of them. So in most scenarios, that would have been a victory. But not this one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. So click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.